Okay guys, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Last video, we obviously found something, I said very illegal in the car. We found drugs in the abandoned Supra. And I'm not talking about just the recreational, I'm talking about stuff that can put you away for a long time if you have possession of enough. My main goal was, to protect myself and my family. I didn't want to show anything until I had law enforcement come to my house and verify that I'm okay and that I'm not gonna be charged with anything. But a lot of information in this video. It's gonna be kind of crazy. One thing before we get started, make sure you subscribe and turn the notifications on and leave me some comments. Let's see some memes. Dropping a comment is the best thing you can do. I don't know if YouTube's gonna be particularly stoked about this video, but yeah, found drugs in the Supra. I filmed everything on my phone. Here we go. Blurring out the officer. He was an incredible guy. He was super nice, but out of respect for him, here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna film with my phone for now. The thing is, it's not about what we found, it's about what we didn't find. And I didn't want to get my hands any deeper into the car and get in some serious trouble. I did some research and found out that like, buy an ex-drug dealer's car or something, and it's found in your vehicle, you're still charged no matter what. So I contacted my attorney, K9 crew, so to come sniff the car out. And we're gonna see if there's still anything left over. So obviously, aside from the stuff that we found, after doing a little bit of brain math, I was like, why was the interior ripped apart like this? I'm thinking that at some point in time, this might have been like a drug mule vehicle, and they could have been hiding drugs inside of, I was doing research, and this is a common place to hide whatever your paraphernalia is. Even in the seats, if it's a serious car, could have been a freaking cartel car for all I know, which I hope not, but it makes sense why there's literally holes dug out and what looks like bite marks, teeth marks, I don't know. So things added up and I was instantly like, I don't want to touch it no more before something bad happens, or if I find anything, I want to make sure that I get some legal help here and actually hire a dog to come out and sniff the car, because I don't need this right now. I got a newborn child and a lot going on. I don't need to be worried about these kind of charges. So he's on his way. I'm really crossing my fingers. For y'all's sake, y'all probably like, oh, please be drugged. But hoping that there's nothing in here and it was false alarm. Which, for the record, before they get here, if something is found in the car, there's a couple outcomes. I could get arrested. I probably would be tried and it wouldn't be successful because obviously I just bought the car. And two, the car could be crushed. I obviously hope that neither of those happen, but I live an exciting life, so here we go. No, we already bought it. I buy old raggedy cars for a living and restore them and have fun with them, but we found some dime bags basically all over the floor, and
I'm not to pull it out.
the gas. Okay, yeah, sure, I can push it out. Stuff so far, but passenger side floor and then driver's side floor.
It looked like what it looked like was in there at one point.
I actually have them still in my trash can if you want to see them. My sister and I were cleaning it out because that's usually one of the most fun parts when you get a new crappy car. And so here we go. Yeah, so it'll be around here somewhere. Here's a couple. You can see them right there.
Yeah, you might grab one. Hold it for the light. It looks like it might have been meth at one point because it's kind of liquefied.
Sure.
Depending on if they smoke meth in there or not.
Okay.
Those last for a pretty good while in there.
Okay.
How long have you had the car?
2 weeks. 2
okay,
weeks.
so it might not.
But so it's I bought it from some kid that lived like a mile down the road, and he bought it. No, so it wasn't driving, running. He said he bought it from Scurry, and it's got So it's got
One of the meth areas. You got any small dogs anywhere?
We do it in the house. You're gonna close the windows so they don't see.
Like little ones.
There we go. The gas hurts her nose.
She's interested, but she's not really alerting.
Yeah.
Show me.
The sitting is an alert?
Yeah, that's how.
Wow, dang, that's crazy.
Some dogs will scratch. She's a sitter.
Uh-oh.
That was an alert on the door.
Okay.
You can tell the first one's familiar with it. Sometimes he'll go to what we call source, which is like where most reasons is at.
Yeah, dude, I noticed, I mean, they had tears in the seats, so, I mean, I don't know. And it could just be that it's an old car and beat up, but it just didn't look right. Seems sketchy.
I'm trying to see maybe there's a little bit slow. Yeah, so she's interested in the passenger side.
That's so fun. Let's say like I am gutting the car and something's in the B-pillar or something.
If you find it, if it's like a crazy huge amount, if you actually find with still the crystals in there, you can flush it.
Okay.
If it's powder, or don't touch it, fentanyl will start to pick up again, and that will actually kill you if you get touched with it.
Okay.
But if you find anything else, it depends. If you find like a kilo of it, I'd call us.
Okay, for sure. Yeah.
But usually, I mean, that stuff, if you do find that, that'll be up in here.
Okay.
Here, the dash. But you never know, man. Like, I was a highway patrol before this, and there's a car down the border we'd help out with, and we actually stopped this F-150 one time, and it was bought at an auction, a federal auction. They had seized a bunch of dope in it, they just didn't realize there was more in there.
Oh my God.
But it looks like meth. Honestly, that's when I saw the car, it kind of looks like a meth junkie car.
Thanks.
Well, I mean,
It won't when I'm done, yeah.
You'll fix it up.
So it was from like San Antonio, in between San Antonio and Scurry, it just bounced around, so yeah.
They probably moved stuff. Yeah, you gonna take a dash off?
Probably.
I definitely would look.
Yeah, I'll be a little more thorough with this than I usually am.
I'm surprised you hadn't run across that before, man. Especially buying junk cars.
Yeah, well, this is probably the more sketchy looking one that I've bought, but yeah, it's.
Yeah, it look good when you get done with it. Man. I definitely wouldn't drive it. Of course, I don't think you're going to, but I wouldn't drive it until you have it all redone.
Yeah. Okay.
That way, there's no iffies.
Thank you, officer.
Not a problem. Man.
Appreciate you, sir. How we going, man? I'm feeling a little better now. I was a little nervous. So, yeah, some Christy May. What do you want to call that? I don't know what this term is for that. So yeah, we got Heisenberg's Supra. Now the nice thing is, I can now start actually working on this car. My main concern was safety. And what I do want to clarify, guys, is not all local law enforcement agencies, maybe it's just because we're in just the good old land of the free, home of the brave, beautiful Texas. But like, let's say I found this car in New York, right? Or California, the two communist states. It could have been really, really, really bad. I mean, I showed the officer, oh, Drew, oh man. Oh, there's fuel leaking under the IS. We gotta catch that. Gross. I obviously showed him that I had this paraphernalia, and but he was cool with it. I believe in honesty, and I believe in trying to get things as clear as day, especially before exposing myself to something like this. Because I mean, you never know. Some hater could have called the police on me. Obviously, for my own safety, I am grateful. The officer was super cool, and he told me what to do if I find any more. He did say I need to strip the car because there could be more. The dog was leaning or really, really liked the passenger side B-pillar. So next video, Victoria's actually really stoked. She wants to dive into this so much. We're gonna have to gut the car to make sure. That's really not something I wanted to do, but it's not a huge deal. I don't wanna seem like I'm dragging this out, but I still need to make sure, especially like you heard the cops say, before I start driving this car, if I ever get pulled over and if there is something still left over in this car, that is when I can get in major trouble. We will have to gut this thing, and while we're doing that, I'm gonna have Drew tinker around with some wiring and maybe see if we can't get a compression test, get it cranking over. He seems to think it'd take 30 minutes or so, but we need to check wiring. So we will have to gut the car. This has certainly been the most interesting out of anything that I have bought so far. And it's a wild story. Like, did I want this to happen this way? No, but like, it's exciting. It's definitely interesting and throws a different dynamic that I'm used to. And to be honest, I am surprised that this is the first car that I bought that had drugs in it. Like, I've bought a lot of cars. Maybe I should have my Civic checked. You never know. You never know with Civics, dude. Which, by the way, that runs doing fuel system on the IS. We got some cool stuff, Link ECU for this car, maybe possibly a turbo upgrade. I got an update for you guys on this car pretty soon. This car we're gonna finally start. And then once I get a lift free and more parts and a huge turbo, well, this boy gonna get his engine. What to say? So every stinking day that I make a video, I give you guys daily advice. And I got a little bank. I'm gonna pull something out of the bank here. This is a big one. The work isn't necessarily the point. It's the risk you take to get there, the risk you took to get there. A lot of people will look at celebrities or people who just are successful in general, and they'll see like, well, this dude only works blah, 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 blah hours a day, or he only works blah, blah, or he sleeps in, or he stays up late, or he or she, whatever, blah, blah, whatever it is. A lot of people just like to look at the work, and nobody evaluates the risks taken, the hours put in with no pay or little to no pay. I mean, I want you guys to know how I can turn this into positive affirmations for you. Take that risk, because you never know how it's gonna turn out. Worst thing you can do is fail, but just know next time you see somebody that's like successful and you see somebody else's sleep schedule or work schedule and you're like, what? Like, that dude has like 3 supercars. Why does he look like he's at Starbucks all the time? Because he took a risk. And sometimes that risk you take allows you to work 3 or 4 hours a day. Now, wish that was the case for me, but it's not yet. Take that risk, work your butt off, and get to where you want to be. You guys have an amazing day. Make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications on. Drop a comment if you haven't already, because I love it. And have an amazing day. I was gonna say peace, but that was one finger. Peace. Hey, I got 2 videos for you guys to watch. It helps me a ton if you continue to watch my channel. I've got tons of content for you, tons of great, it's beautiful content. You love it. Also subscribe, turn those notifications on. Have a good day. Bye. Don't do drugs.